you doing today? Great! So, thank you so much for coming and taking time out of your weekend to invest in yourself and whatever it is that you came today to actually have an experience change in. So I'd like you to start by doing the date stretch, by ever so slyly just and put your arms around your neighbors, rub them on the back, and say, welcome home. Very nice, very nice. You will be getting to know each other very quickly at this event. We're going to be doing a lot of beautiful change work together this weekend that's going to make you very close as a community. And I'm curious if we could have people stand who have done at least one private session with me or at least one event with me. Please stand if you've done at least one private session or one event with me. This event, this type of event. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If you've worked before with me in this work, if you've had a session, I wanted to just check around and see where the warriors are in the room that have already kind of like been initiated. So a round of applause for our warriors. Please stay, you already know the warrior, we're not there. Stay standing because if you have done at least 5 sessions of change work, 5 sessions of family entanglement, 5 sessions of event work, please stay standing.
So that means
You've done it, Bonnie. So these are our hardcore warriors. Round of applause. All right, go ahead and have a seat. So, all right. There's a lot of new folks in the room today, so why don't you take a moment and introduce yourselves to your neighbors around you. Just say who you are and where you're from, and welcome each other. All right. All right, finish up your hellos and your welcomes. Good. So, is this still on? All right. I know a lot of you have probably heard the concept. How's that? Is it better? Yeah. Cleaner? Yeah. Better, cleaner, fast. Okay. So a lot of you, we're in the Bay Area, and we always hear that you're responsible for all your results in life, right? That ideally you're 100% responsible for everything that you have, be, do, and are. And I'm going to share with you something that's going to break through that old belief this weekend. And that is, you might not be 100% responsible for all of the results that you're experiencing in your life, or all of the consequences that you're experiencing in your life. There's actually subconscious patterns that are at cause. And if you just clean out those subconscious patterns, then those problems that have been sticking for a long time, those problems that have been kind of continuous and you've been trying to kind of get them moved forward, those can start to finally clear. So think for a minute about, because this is how, entanglements, and we're going to be talking about childhood imprints too. This is how these things work. The places in your life where you notice that you tend to be the most stuck, the ones that you've worked on, you've gone to classes in maybe, right? You've taken financial or business classes, relationship classes, you've gone to see health specialists for your health. You've put in the time, you've put in the elbow grease, and they're still there. Those problems, we get very suspicious that those are related to your family entanglements and your childhood imprints, and that's what we're here to work on this weekend. So how many of you would like to have even more abundance in your life? Say yes. Yes. And how many of you would like to have even juicier relationships? Say yes. Yes. And how many of you want vibrant health? Say yes. Yes. Beautiful. So thank you for following your intuition. You came to the right room this weekend. And if you go ahead and advance that. So my slide advance is coming. It's coming toward me. I am pulling it in. I am manifesting it toward me through the car of Melanie, who will be driving in a moment. For now, we have the beautiful Nicole, who's going to be our Vanna White of the slides. Round of applause for Nicole. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the inner game versus the outer game of success. And this is where you're going to, for those of you that like to take notes, for those of you that are really into like absorbing in your learning, this is the time to grab your notebooks and your pens, because we're going to dive in. In the morning session, we're going to be talking about like what are family entanglements. We're going to go through all like what we're going to be doing, and then the rest of the day is all clearing work. Okay, we're going to it's all completely experiential. So we're going to be talking about the inner game versus the outer game of success. We're going to talk about what entanglement patterns are and how they affect you. And then we're going to do 6 live disentanglements throughout this weekend. So since we're going to be spending a little bit of time together, I thought I might share with you a little bit about me, your captain, who's going to be steering the ship for this weekend, and why I do this work. Now, for those of you that want the street cred, that version is that I've been a therapist for 6 years, and I left that world behind and I moved into business coaching. I really found that my passion was helping people getting their businesses going and sort of living their passion, right? Because people have these dreams and these goals and they want to create a business out of it, and then they don't get enough customers, they're having trouble growing. And so I help people make that a reality. And even through that work, when I was a therapist, as well as when I was a business coach, there were still places that people got stuck, and I couldn't get them unstuck. And so it wasn't until I went and found that 90% of what people are stuck by is their subconscious, and therapy and business coaching was all conscious mind work. So it wasn't until I delved into becoming a master neurolinguistic programmer. How many of you have heard of neurolinguistic programming? All right, nice, educated room. So I'm a master neurolinguistic programmer. I also went and learned family constellation work. These are different forms of subconscious work. And there's a lot that I got into. EFT, and, I mean, there's a ton. In my 15 years of study, there's a ton that I got into. And so that's sort of like my sort of path and journey along the sort of educational piece. That's the street cred part. And this part is the personal part. So if you can see that despite the lighting in here, that's me growing up in Southern California. And I grew up in a lower class family, socioeconomically. It's just my dad that was the single wage earner. My mom stayed at home and was raising me at the time. She's from Taiwan, so she didn't speak English that well when she came over here. And I grew up, and some of you might be familiar with this, I grew up with, we can't afford that. That costs too much. No, we can't do that. And so I was not programmed for abundance. I was not programmed for wealth. And my parents ended up both doing clerical work, and they worked for somebody else their whole lives. So I definitely wasn't programmed for being an entrepreneur. And to let you know a little bit about the background of where my parents come from in terms of the scarcity that they grew up around, my mother didn't get her first pair of shoes until she was 11. Like, she grew up in like the super poor rural countryside of Taiwan.